here with my setup. If you guys give me 10 seconds, that would be great. I see that there's still no one here. Oh, never mind. I see that Soldier USA has donated $20. Thank you very much for that. As I mentioned, guys, you don't need to do that, but I really appreciate the support. But you don't feel at all, that you need to do it. To me, I would much rather have you invest that money into the bull market. But in any case, thank you very much for your support. It greatly helps the channel, so thank you very much. Oh, I see Manuel is here. Hello. It's been quite a while since I've done a live stream. I wanted to say something quick, which is I am today alone with my daughter at home. My daughter is currently asleep, but basically if she starts crying or something, or if she needs me, I will need to cut the live stream short. I hope you guys understand, but today I don't have my wife is not here, so I need to be a bit mindful of that. But hopefully everything will go well, and no need for that, and there will be no need for that. So shall we start? So it's been quite a while since I've done a live stream. I should really try to do it a bit more often, maybe at a designated time, like every Wednesday, or at least bi-weekly, once every week, once every 2 weeks. Hello, I see that Alain is here. Hello. Thank you very much for the nice comment. I've already thanked Soldier USAF for the $20 donation, and that was really appreciated. And Manuel is also here. So let's start. Now, last Friday was a bit of a downer for the markets, in the sense that it's the whole story, so there's nothing new here, which is job market comes stronger than expected on the headlines, and I will cover that a bit deeper. And it triggers the algorithm trading. The likelihood of rate cuts gets postponed into the future, and basically all the risk on markets start to sell off. Crypto also sold off. Actually, gold sold off really badly. I think what was it, 3.5% or so, and silver sold something like almost 6.5%. Now the funny thing, and I always grab Poor Man's Investing. No, thank you very much for that comment. Is that today I'm alone at home with my daughter, and she's sleeping at the moment, so I'm a bit conscious that if I speak too loudly, I'm gonna end up waking her, and then I basically need to shut off the live stream. No, but I will try to speak here a bit louder. I hope that this is helpful. What I was saying is the job market, the job report came stronger than expected on Friday, but it's purely the headlines. So if you actually go through the report, there's a bunch of full-time jobs that once again were lost, and a bunch of part-time jobs were created, and then the majority of the report is assumptions of new companies being created versus new companies getting destroyed. So it's a lot of guessing, but what really matters is the full-time jobs are down quite aggressively, and that is the sign of a strong economy. But what have I said before as well? It doesn't matter what you know, it matters how the market will react, because you're not dealing, and this is the problem with economists and why they cannot make money in the market, is because they have too much information in their minds, which means that they are paying attention to things which, overall will be important into the future, but it does not affect the reaction of people right then. So that's why they always pick the wrong stocks, they always pick the wrong issues. And Peter Schiff is the classic guy on this, who has a terrible track record. I was actually going on Twitter because I saw that gold and gold stocks completely collapsed. And if this was the stock market, he would be making a prediction about a Black Monday. And that prediction would be number 25 or something like that. For those of you who don't know, Black Monday was in 1987. There was a Monday where the stock market dropped 25% overnight. Not overnight, but in one single day. And that was known as the Black Monday. And Peter Schiff has made every time the stock market is down 2% on Fridays, he would make the prediction of a Black Monday on Monday. So basically, it's been predicting. I think he predicted something like between 2022 and 2023, something like at least 17 Black Mondays. Of course, none of them came to pass. But it would be funny to see if he would do the same for his precious gold stocks and gold mining and the silver stocks and all of this. Of course, that doesn't apply, right? There is a buying opportunity, so go to Euro Pacific Capital, blah, 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 all of this kind of stuff. In any case, focusing on something more positive, the job report is bearish. Sorry, on the headlines, is actually bullish once you basically look a bit deeper into what's actually happening in the job market. You understand that these are all numbers to basically make the current administration look good, and deep down these are actually quite bad. And as I've mentioned before, this doesn't, what I think the market is not visualizing yet, which is fine, is the rate cuts are a necessity, and they are a mathematical problem. They are not a political issue. They are not a job report issue. They are not a they are not a Republican Democrat issue. No, it's very simple. The current interest rates are impossible to be maintained as the debt of the US matures. A big portion of it matures over the next 2 to 3 years, which means that once you refinance that debt at the current rates, by 2028, about 2/3 of your tax revenue is going to be paying interest on the debt. And this is a mathematical issue, which means that the Fed made the same calculations that I did, which means they will lower rates, doesn't matter what's happening. Europe, many countries in Europe still have an inflation problem. The ECB, the European Central Bank, the equivalent of the Fed, already cut rates this week. China has been cutting rates since the summer of last year. Japan rose rates jokingly a little bit, and they're already considering to drop them again. So it's a matter of time before the US cuts the rates. Most likely, at least one rate cut before the election seems very likely to me. Now, with that, stocks, didn't even sold out that much. However, the bond market obviously went down quite aggressively, 1.5%, and you guys already know, when the bond market is dropping aggressively, the other risk assets will follow. That's it. All the risk on assets are derivatives of the bond market. We can tolerate lower bond prices. What we cannot tolerate is 1% drops per day in that market, which is bigger than the stock market, the real estate market, the gold market, and the crypto market all combined. Okay, so there's no way that can be tolerable. So basically, there's no way that market can keep on going. How to say, very unstably, particularly to the downside, without crashing all the other markets. But now moving to crypto, Bitcoin keeps strong at 69,000. Ethereum, still underperforming a little bit. I think a lot of people are not visualizing yet the impact that the ETF is going to get into the Ethereum price, because Ethereum is much less liquid than Bitcoin, which means that you don't need as much money to move the market at all. And Ethereum is much more useful. I think it carries a bit the weight of the fact that Grayscale has about $11 billion of Ethereum that they can sell, and they will be selling. I hope that they learned from their Bitcoin ETF experience and don't try to charge 1.5% fees when all the competitors are charging like 0.5% and stuff like that. So that's completely crazy. In any case, we are actually ahead of time in the cycle in terms of price action. Price is higher than it should at the moment. Ethereum is in its cycle 3 course, so it was always, with a strong probability of underperforming in the beginning. I still think that Ethereum has a good chance of overtaking Bitcoin and becoming the #1 coin. Maybe not by the end of this cycle, but I think by the next cycle that will be actually very likely, and it will surprise a lot of people. One thing that needs to be said here is BNB. BNB has outperformed everything, and this, I'm not on BNB, so I don't have any vested interest in saying this, but BNB went down less than Bitcoin in the bear market. It went okay, sorry, give me here a chance. Let me see if this helps. Hopefully it's a bit better now. I apologize, but I'm trying not to wake up my daughter, so that's why today is a little bit down on the volume side. What I was saying is, so sorry, I completely forgot what I was. Oh yeah, BNB. So BNB went down less than Bitcoin during. Okay, thank you. No, sorry, I'm really trying not to talk too loudly because I'm afraid that I'm going to wake up my daughter. That's the reason why. But what I was saying is, so BNB has gone down less than Bitcoin in the bear market, which is absolutely crazy. It's the only altcoin that I know, except the stable coins, obviously, that did that, and it already crossed its new all-time highs again. There was a theory that Binance, the exchange, was rotating some of the profits of the exchange into buying BNB. Maybe that's the case, maybe that isn't, and it's funny because CZ is in jail, so even that is also surprising, but we need to say that it's important to say that BNB indeed so far has been the great winner throughout the bear market and now into the bull market, being one of the later ones actually hitting all-time highs before Ethereum. So very impressive from them, very impressive from the community. I hope they do very well, and despite basically Binance being banned from the US and a bunch of countries in Europe after the big fine with the SEC, BUSD, which is the stable coin of Binance, getting attacked and slammed everywhere, and even with the founder in jail. So that coin did very, very well, and I think it's important to mention that. Now, as you guys know, my retirement coins are Pulse Chain, PulseX, X, Hydron, and Icosa. One of the great things about the Ethereum ETF is that basically classifies Ethereum as a non-security. That's all it does. And which means if Pulse Chain is a copy of Ethereum, so Pulse Chain should also not be a security, which means that I think is now extremely likely that that process against that issue with the SEC will be dropped against Richard Hart, which is the founder of these coins, with the exception of Hydron and Icosa. Will basically drop the attack on Richard. And also, the SEC has been sued and has been fined for regulatory overreach. And I don't care if you are in the same ecosystem as I am. The point is, we should all be happy once other cryptos do well, once the SEC is being fined for regulatory overreach, when the SEC is failing to attack certain cryptos, and even when the Democrats are forced to be pro-crypto because the Republicans have stepped ahead on that matter. In fact, and you could see that basically as soon as that bill got to Joe Biden, it got vetoed. So make no mistake, the Democrats are now being pro-crypto because they are now finding out that 50 million people in the US own crypto. So all of a sudden, that's a lot of votes. But the truth is, when there was this bill that would allow custody for the banks, basically banks to be able to be a custodian for people's cryptos, all of a sudden, they automatically ban it. You see, what you need to understand is the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. Democrats want control. That's it. So self-custody, basically, Do you farm ink? I will answer that. Per man investment, just give me an example. Just give me a little bit of time. Sorry. Um, so as I was saying, the issue with um, the Democrats is they want control. So things like self-custody, things like you know crypto in general, are things that they hate because they want to control it. You see, but they cannot come out outright and say it, so they will say this is being used by criminals, this is being used by whatever, this is being used by tax evaders, etc. Look, the biggest crimes happen with the US dollar. All the criminals that I know use gasoline and cars. Probably all of them use cell phones and the internet. So should we ban all of these things? You see, it makes no sense. Like, they use this to appeal to a normal person who they expect not to care that much about crypto as a good excuse to make them feel right, you know, when they propose it. Republicans are a bit more practical. I think most Republicans couldn't give two craps about crypto. But they want to protect the innovation and the leadership of the US in home grounds and then make money out of it. That's it. That's all they want. They are not doing it because they believe in the principles of self-custody and freedom. That's all a bunch of BS. They think that, okay, this industry seems to be here to stay, so we want to be the leaders, so we want foreign money coming in here in our country, and that props up our economy. That's great. We collect money, we collect fees, we collect whatever. Seems great to me. Question by Poor Man's Investing. Am I farming ink? I used to. Ink is the incentive token. For those of you who don't know, basically, if you participate in one of the farms on PulseX, you can get incentive token, okay, which has actually been the best performing of all the tickers. And that just shows exactly a theory that I had. It's the things that people don't believe that end up turning to be the case. Have you noticed that? When PulseChain was announced, some people had theories that X would do better, PulseX would do better, PulseChain would do better, but all of them agreed that the incentive token will be the one doing the worst because it's basically inflationary and it serves no utility. Guess what? It's the best performing one. See? So that just shows you that when the crowd is all pushed into one direction, going against your instincts is probably the best thing to do. I used to farm ink. I no longer farm it. What I do is, when I buy my clips, like the big one that I bought recently, I also allocate a percentage to incentive token. That's currently what I'm doing at the moment. I stopped buying X. The reason why I stopped buying X is because I have a lot of Hydron and Icosa, which are basically leverage plays in X. So meaning, if I think that X is going to do well, which I do, then if X goes up tenfold, Icosa and Hydron should go up 100-fold. Sorry, man. I know. Bespoken. I know that today is a bit lower, but as I mentioned, sorry. I know that you guys are coming in, but I do have my daughter sleeping, and if she wakes up, my wife is not at home, so I will need to leave. So that's why I'm trying desperately that doesn't happen. You see what I mean? So I hope you guys can live a little bit with this. Oh, I see Abdul. Either on ETH or Pulse. Look, I have both because I had Hydron and Icosa before the chain was copied. So in my case, I really don't care which one goes up the most because I have both. There's gonna be Alex, the founder of Hydron and Icosa, is building something in which it's rumored that one Icosa on Ethereum and one Icosa on PulseChain will be worth the same. Is that true? I don't know. At the moment, if you ask me if I was gonna buy a new one, I would buy the ones in PulseChain. Why? Because the purpose is to avoid Ethereum fees, right? That was the purpose of PulseChain creation, which means it tells me that it would make. Why would I buy? It's a bit like I want to buy one thing and they're both the same, right? They both do the same thing, but one costs me I don't know, €100 to park, $100 to park when I leave my car parked outside, and the other one costs me $1. So which one? Where am I going to buy this? Probably in the place where the parking is $1. But once again, the problem with that is most people will think like me, and I just said that when most people think what I think, when the majority of people think about something, many times, particularly in crypto, the opposite ends up happening. So, I mean, I cannot give you financial advice. I just basically disclose my positions so everyone is aware of them. And I tell you about my winners and my losers, and I talk about the coins way back. So, I mean, I disclosed my positions in Pulse-Chain, X, Hedron, etc. during the week that Richard Hart was targeted by the SEC, and I told you I bought a massive clip when 1 week ago or something, after 13 weeks of red candles. That's when I talk about the coins. See, now I could just sit here and wait for pumps and then talk about them, because probably it's going to get a lot of attention, but that is disingenuous. So if I'm doing something, and by the way, I think that there's going to be a time where YouTube finance eventually will be regulated, because I see so many scammy artists on YouTube that I think there's going to be a pressure eventually to regulate these things. And for example, the European Union was thinking about having something where if you have a YouTuber talking about anything related with investments in finance, they are forced to disclose their positions when they get in, when they get out. I already do them without any regulation intact, and I leave everything in my description. You can pinpoint to my videos. All of this is accurate. Like you can fact check me. I mean, I don't delete videos, so everything is there. I do still think that ecosystem will do very well, but I'm also, and I've said this 100 times before, but I'll say it again, they are cycle 2 narratives. It's all about DeFi, layer ones, all of this kind of stuff. These things, basically, the cycle 2 narratives tend to run the strongest closer to the end of the bull market. And what people need to understand is the following. The bull market, the vast majority of the gains happen in the last 30% of the bull market. And then things get so crazy, so parabolic like this, that your brain will start to convince you that there's no way that this thing is going to come down, and then you're going to start listing a bunch of things of why this time things are different. All of these things, this will happen to anyone. Okay? Be mindful of that. What I've done is, I think Pulse-Chain ecosystem will do wonderfully. When I say wonderfully, is I think all the coins that I mentioned will do at least a 50x. If all of them do a 50x, I can retire. This is what I did. Is I position myself strongly enough that I don't need a magical 500x, 1000x, 1500x, like all these crazy numbers. A 50x is great for me. Now, if we get a 100x, better. If we get a 300x, even better. If we get a 1000x, well, you get the point. But the point is, I don't need a 1000x. Very important. Now, I wanted to discuss something. As you guys know, I've been in, I have a few lottery tickets play, Bird Dog on Ethereum, 0x70 address. Andy is my main one. I was there since market cap 1.5, $1.6 million. 40, which has basically been sideways forever. So it was one of my worst. I got in a little bit below $2 million. There's been sideways movement between basically 2.3 to 3.3 million dollars. That is actually great, because it has been like that for about, I don't know, 3-4 weeks, which means, so what happened with 40 is, which is Pepe's girlfriend on Ethereum. Every time I talk about a lottery ticket is on Ethereum, okay? Is the whole thing ran up exponentially, like all new coins do. Then it dropped 95%, which I like. And by dropping, sorry, 1 second. And by dropping um, by dropping 95%, we've been sideways trading for a long time. Which basically, if you look at any of these charts, this has happened to almost all the coins of this style. So you have a big ramp up in the beginning, you have a 95% drop, you start stabilizing. And the good thing about 40 is sometimes we go 3 hours without any purchase, meaning nobody's buying, but we don't drop from the $2 million market cap, which means, okay, there's a clear floor here, there's a bunch of, and it has thousands of holders, okay, so there are thousands of holders which are very strong here. So it's a matter of time before 10, 20 whales pump this to 20 million over the weekend, over whatever, just like Hoppy. I was in Hoppy, and I think I've mentioned, Estonian Reefer has mentioned it. I got in Hoppy at around $1 million market cap, and I saw it for about 3 weeks. 1 million, 2 million, 1 million, 2 million, 800K, 2.2 million, 1 million, 2 million. For 4 weeks of this, never stopping, never leaving this range. One weekend, overnight, goes to 20 million, drops to about 6 million, and it's now stabilizing at around 6 million. The 6 million is 3 to 6 times the previous range. See what I mean? So now it's again consolidating, gaining the same thing. I was in Andy, was the same thing. I got in Andy at 1.5 million. The whole thing dropped to like 300K. Then it went to 20 million overnight, then 7 million, then 50 million, and all of a sudden, by the time you noticed, it was, going into the triple digits. And Andy went to, and I saw that, by the way, Andy went to 150 million, back to 40 million, up to 300 million. Now it's around 210, 220 million. And this reminds me of addressing something. Andy got, one of their whales was hacked. And the hacker already sold $900K of Andy. That's why we went from 320 million to 210 million or something. And he sold a few hours ago another 100K. He has about 700K left to sell. And I do really feel really poorly for the whale, of course, because, well, basically they lost almost $2 million. And this shows that this happens to anybody. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of money, if you have not so much money, it doesn't really matter. See, there's a reason that I've been talking about this for a long time. Every lottery ticket that I disclose to my audience, I always say this, true or false. I create a new wallet, not a new account under the same wallet, a completely new MetaMask. I create one completely new, and I buy that coin. Why? Because I don't have the experience, the knowledge, the trust, the time to research if there's any kind of bad code embedded into that crypto. I do not connect any of my main wallets to dApps or to websites that I'm not aware. I do not write my 24-word seed phrase of my hardware wallet in my computer ever. If my ledger or my Trezor, because I have both, stop working, I buy a new one, I wait for it to arrive, and then I use it. And I know that this part is very boring, nobody wants to listen about this, I get it, but this was the second whale that I've heard of this weekend only, or this late week only, of losing multi-million dollars. Now I hope that that person has multiple wallets. I hope that that person has even multiple computers. I hope. Because this is the type of thing that can lead to people doing something terrible. If, imagine, they've been working for they've been preparing for the cycles. Let's say that in crypto since 2016 even. And all of a sudden, they get hacked by doing something stupid and they lose everything. What I'm doing in terms of security is I have multiple wallets. I have multiple hardware wallets. And my portfolio is actually growing to the point where I'm considering buying a new computer solely for crypto. That's it. So that computer will never install anything, will never download anything, will never have email addresses attached, will never have anything. It will be done, it will exist just for crypto. And yeah, Len, exactly, that's what I was referring to. I mean, I am thinking about getting a new computer exactly for that. Because, oh, yeah, no, exactly, we're completely aligned. Yeah, I saw people losing basically close to $5 million just over the last 3 days. I don't know what they did. Look, I have no special information. I don't know if they connected their computer, their wallet to a bad website. I don't know if they inserted their seed phrases into their computers. I don't know if they interacted with a fake airdrop that had bad code embedded into it, and when you try to sell it, you activate some kind of draining stuff. I don't know what happened. Okay, so I'm speculating what it can be. My point, and I've said this many times, and I will leave this subject here, is as your portfolio grow, your investment in security should also grow, right? When you have $50, do you feel comfortable carrying it in your wallet? Yes. What about $50,000? Well, 50,000 is too much. Maybe put it in the bank. Okay, what about $500,000? Okay, maybe split it in 2 banks or 3 banks. What about $50 million? See my point? The more money you have, the more, thought about security you should have. And I know this is boring. I know nobody wants to listen to this. They want, oh, this coin's gonna go up 100-fold next week. I get it. Like, everybody wants this kind of stuff in crypto. But imagine that you make it. Imagine that you create life-changing wealth, and then you lose it all because you interacted with a fake airdrop and you were not aware of any of this, and all of a sudden you're all screwed, right? So I leave it at that on that subject. Now, as I mentioned, the address of Pepe is 0x69, Andy 0x68, Landwolf on Ethereum is also 0x67, is the one doing the best, and I'm on BirdDog 0x70, which basically I got in at around 550k. I already sold about $8,000 of that coin, so I have about 20% of my position left. That position, I'm planning to hold it until the end of the bull market. I still think Pepe has the potential to go to $40 billion, 40, 45 billion by the end of the cycle, which is in line with what Dogecoin did, which means that Andy, Brett, and other coins alike should be able to get at least, I would say Andy go to $5 billion if Pepe goes to 40 billion. But the point is always the same, and this is how I usually guide myself, which is, are the number of Telegram users increasing? Telegram members? Yes. Are the number of holders increasing? Yes. Do I think Pepe is still going up? Yes. As long as the answer to these 3 questions is yes, then I feel confident that my plan is working. In any case, I've already sold down a bunch of coins, so I'm already up. Even if everything goes to 0 tomorrow, I already made a nice 10x. Okay, so if that means if everything goes to 0 tomorrow. Pepe related coins. Yeah, I saw a few of them. Look, I don't see anything particularly wrong with them. I didn't see anything particularly wrong at the time, but full disclosure, I didn't have time to go into depth, so I don't want you to take this as any kind of financial advice. I maybe give you the blueprint of how I look to these coins. So the way that I look at these coins is very simple. Do they fit the narrative, a current cycle narrative? Yes. By the way, why am I focusing on Ethereum? Because Solana already had its big pump. Ethereum is underperforming. You see, all these coins are liquidity bonded to Ethereum, which means that if Ethereum price goes up, it pulls everything denominated in Ethereum or anything that has a liquidity position with Ethereum up as well. That's what happens in Uniswap version 2. In order to create a liquidity pair, you have your coin over here, can be coin whatever, linked to Ethereum on this side. So if this side goes up, it pulls this side up as well. So because Ethereum has been underperforming, and I think that Ethereum will start to really outperform over starting potentially in July or August, then the excess or the extra liquidity coming in on Ethereum will pull everything in Ethereum up. And because Pulse Chain is a leverage position on Ethereum, that's why I expect Pulse Chain to then, after Ethereum has its big rise, Pulse Chain to start playing catch up to Ethereum and eventually outperforming in terms of access because it's a leverage play. That's my expectation. So that's why I only discuss coins on Ethereum. Then, the way that I look at it, just to give you a blueprint, is does it fit a narrative of the cycle? Yes. You see, the reason why I have the PEP related coins, the 0.68, the 0.60, the 0x70, the 0, and now I'm looking at Zeus, which is 0x71. It's because it's a very easy meme to sell, which is, hey, you lost Pepe, 0x69, here are their friends, but these are the real ones because look at the wallet addresses. Very easy. People get it. Simple. So that's one. But by the way, the Zeus one, I haven't put any money on it. I'm gonna play maybe 7. If I see Zeus going below $2 million market cap, I'm gonna put in potentially around $750. Okay, so nothing special. Different wallet. Start a different wallet. Looking at it. Now, Alain, the way that I look at it is, okay, does it fit the narrative? Yes. Okay, good. Go on Dex Screener. Go on things like tokens sniffer. Go on things of what kind of issues does this coin have. If you go to Telegram, can you actually talk to people? Or basically you cannot even write messages. So I'll give you this example. There was a Hoppy that came out, I think, on Thursday or Friday. That thing went to like $9 million and then to 300K almost immediately. I checked the Telegram group just for fun. You could not write anything. Big red flag. Then what I do is, okay, how old is the coin out? Because if it is a rug pull, usually it happens within 3 to 5 days max. So if the coin is already here for 6, 5, 7 months, 3 months, 2 months, okay, probably it's not a rug pull. Okay. Then number 2 is just see a little bit how they behave in the Telegram. Is actually, are the people involved with the coin, the administrator, the moderator, are they actually answering questions? If you ask a normal question, do you get banned immediately? Are people complaining that these same devs rug pulled other people in other projects? These kind of questions will take you probably, 1 hour to figure out. Okay? And then what I do is, okay, fine. I feel comfortable to drop whatever is irrelevant to you. Like, okay, $500, for example, in my case, $500. Will I live beneath a bridge? No. Will I starve because of that decision? No. Is my life materially changing, dramatically changing? No. So okay, I'm good to take that risk. If there's something weird about the coin, let's say you have a big pump from 1 million to 10 million, but it's basically on the back of 2 addresses only or 3 addresses only. Probably they are engaging with, in a few tactics to try to capture the audience interest. So what I do in a situation like that is I get out my principal and I get out a decent profit. So if that thing eventually was just a trick to kind of, get retail all happy and all in that coin, I'm already profitable, so I don't care. So let's say there was a pump on Bird Dog, the one that I've mentioned to you, that it went up quite aggressively and it was pretty much 2 wallets doing it. So what did I do? I sold a big chunk of it. So I'm extremely profitable on that coin, even if it now goes to 0. See what I mean? That's why I try to go for good narrative, small market cap. Hopefully it's not some sort of vampire attack on other coin. and I try to use it to basically, you know, I mean, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. So I try to to move the odds in my favor as much as I can, if that makes sense. But it's not guaranteed. I don't have the time to research these things like I did during the bear market. You see what I mean? So that's why they don't touch. That's why they don't touch my main wallet. That's why I have a separate wallet for them. That's why I put very small money into it, exactly because of it. See what I mean? And then if it's something that has been out for like 2 months and is down 90% or something, those are the things that I like. See, I don't like to buy things after pumps. That's not for me. Okay, guys, we've been here for 40 minutes. If you guys don't have any other questions, I think I'll call it today. I think we covered a lot of things. I think we're going to have a very interesting bull market going forward. I think the ECB just proved what I've been saying for months and months and months. Europe still has inflation, but they're already cutting rates because that's the only way. Oh, sorry, Alan. I see your question. Yeah, it's a what is my strategy to sell some parts of the coin? Like if the coin doing 5x, do you sell 20%? To be honest, it depends a little bit of the coin. So, for example, when Andy started to pump, I saw that it was a lot of different whales from Pepe, historically from Pepe. So they were embracing the narrative of, because Pepe did well, the friends of Pepe will do very well. So I was very confident about Andy. So I got in at 1.5 million market cap. I took my initial profit back when Andy was $50 million market cap, because that coin surprised me. Even I was not expecting it to go to 300 million so fast. I always thought that we were going to go from 50 to maybe 10 million for a while, but no, we went almost straight ahead, right? If I see, for example, a coin that I'm not sure, like for example, BirdDog as a big competitor on Ethereum, so I don't know. You see what I mean? Like, I don't know which one will succeed. And what I saw was there was a big pump on the BirdDog that I had that basically pushed the coin from like 500k to 8 million in overnight. But it was pretty much 2 wallets. So instead of me staying there and guessing, okay, let me take half my position out. Why half my position? Because on that one in particular, I got in at 400k. So even if that thing goes to, let's say, 500 million by the end of the bull market, I'm gonna make millions just on that coin. See what I mean? So it depends a little bit on the coin that I'm invested in. If it's a coin that's been out like 8 months, maybe I'm a bit more trustworthy on that one. If it's a coin that, you know, that doesn't have really competitors like 40, there's only one real 40. Then you have Hoti, which is a different one, but it's not exactly the same. So depends on the situation. If there's something that my rule of thumb is this: if I'm not sure about a coin, or if I don't feel confident about the coin, as long as I see, for example, I've been in a few Trump coins, Trump-related coins, but to be honest, I've been in there such a short time period that I don't even disclose it. Like, I got in, I was trying to get the feeling for these Trump coins, but I'm not very good at it. So I mean, I got in Pattern, for example, at 1.6, got out at 1.9, got in another one at 500k, got out at 650k, because there are a lot of things that I didn't like about the coins, and I said I'm not really feeling it. I don't feel as comfortable as when I'm dwelling with the PEP related meme coins. See what I mean? So it really depends on how you view it. So for example, Pikamoon has recently been going down. As you guys know, I'm in it since the pre-sale, the first stage of the pre-sale, which was 0.0002, which means I'm still, you know, very much profitable. But despite the fact that coin has been going down recently, I have a lot of trust in it. So that is my point. It depends a bit on the coin itself. I mean, and then the rule of thumb that I also use is, okay, are the users growing? So for example, there was a coin, I don't remember which one it was actually, where like, sorry, it's Zeus. Zeus is the one that I'm considering to participate in. I mean, I don't really see the user base really increasing. So even when the price pumps, it seems to me it's always the same people. So in the meme coins, it's all about the network value. It's called Metcalfe's law. So for those of you who don't know, and maybe I will end up the stream on that, Metcalfe's law is the following. It's kind of a scientific law for networks. If the user base doubles, then price goes up 4 times, which is 2 times squared. If Rabbi wallet, I think probably yes, but if you use hardware wallets, look, if you use hardware wallets, don't connect your PC to fake apps, don't interact with airdrops, don't interact with stuff that you don't know, have a good antivirus, have a good VPN, have a good internet, safe Wi-Fi that you use. 9,999 out of 10,000 you will do just fine. Then if your portfolio grows substantially, probably getting a separate computer that you don't download anything, you never connect to any email address, all this kind of stuff, probably will serve you well. Bao, it's the same. It's the same on if you go to CoinMarketCap and you type Edron, you'll find it. In any case, what I was saying, that yeah, first of all, you know, I'm going to continue to basically disclose all my positions, and every time that I sell a meaningful amount of anything. As you guys know, I've already rotated partially to cash, partially to my core coins. So I've actually doubled my Pulse and PulseX positions, almost doubled them from all the meme profits, which is also great. And Metcalfe's law that I was talking about is very simple. You have, if the user base, if the holders grow by X, price goes up by X squared. If the user base goes, so for example, I saw that with Andy, it's a very clear example. When I joined in, there were about 1,300 people holding Andy. Now it's 16,000. So price went up 100-fold from what I bought. See what I mean? Bitcoin happened the same thing. Shiba Inu is the perfect example. Shiba Inu had 1,000 holders, then it got 1,000,000 holders. 1,000 from 1,000 to 1,000,000. That's 1,000x the user base. What happened to price? Went up 1,000,000-fold. What is 1,000,000-fold? 1,000 squared. Happened with Bitcoin, happened with XRP, happened with Ethereum, with BNB, with Pepe, with Andy, blah 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 blah. It's just a law of networks. This is how they work. Okay, so to me, I always pay attention to, are the user base is the user base going up? Are the holders going up? And then all the red flags that I usually look for, I've already disclosed. And with that, guys, thank you very much for your support today. It greatly appreciate. I hope you guys could bear a bit with the lower volume. I hope that we covered a lot of things. The rate cuts are coming. Election period is coming. Dream case scenario of liquidity is coming. So now the funniest part, but also the more difficult part in my view, will start, which is the bull market going into the real bull market. And with that, guys, thank you very much for your support. Hello, Manuel and Catalina. Unfortunately, you got right at the end. But in any case, just review it. And as you guys know, there's only one thing that I ask of you: drop that like and subscribe. It greatly helps the channel. So thank you very much for your support, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much, man.